Good morning, fellas. Good morning,
What
Jason.
what is up, Deeds? Good morning, my brother. I am so happy to be here with you, my friend, Mark Deeds Kledzinski. We're joined by our buddy also, Chris Eckstein out of Kentucky with Freedom Window Cleaning, and somebody he's partnered with. Felicia, say your last name again for me again. I apologize.
You're fine. It's Hughesman.
Hughesman, all right, with the Barracks Project.
Yes.
And today we're going to be discussing basically how things went at the Huge, a couple different things, and we're going to give Chris and Felicia some time to share some great info about a project they're working on. So first and foremost, again, thank you guys for joining us. It's been a wild last 7 days. Chris, I know you want to talk a little bit about some window cleaning and some winning, cool prize package at the Huge, but I know really what's on your mind. You were at a football game last night, weren't you?
Yes, and it was a late one.
And
It's
how
a
are
good
you
it's a
feeling?
good thing I don't drink because I feel fantastic this morning. So
Yay!
yeah, don't have to worry about all that. But oh man, it was great. I've been married for almost 19 years, and my wife's parents were born and raised in Nebraska, so they are diehard Cornhuskers fans. And yeah, we had the opportunity. My father-in-law coordinated with some friends, got 70 tickets, so there was a whole
Holy
bunch of us.
shnikes!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Alumni,
was fun
right?
oh yeah. And yeah, I mean the stadium was packed. It was seriously like 95% Huskers fans there. So and yeah, definitely is the loudest stadium that I've ever been to. So if I'm still yelling, it's because I'm halfway deaf this morning. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Glad we won. Great time. Got to bring the kids, it was great. We had a blast last night. So
That's awesome. I saw some highlights and something about 142 was the decibel, at one point. That is absolutely rocking. So
that's insane.
I don't know if you know this about me or not, but my family's had season tickets for as long as not my family, but my wife's family and
My
our
wife.
family now. My wife,
That's right.
we've had our season tickets for ASU Sun Devils for as long as I can remember. And there's nothing that beats taking your family to a game and walking out with that W. So I'm glad that you got that and you had some fun. Now, back to the important stuff. You just got back from your first Huge convention. I want to hear what your thoughts were. You, Deeds, Mike Matthews, Devin, Damian, a bunch of us hung out. What are some takeaways, man? Tell me about your thoughts.
And it was all positive. I had a feeling that it was going to be a great event, going into it, never having been to one. My hopes were to take away from that, to hear from other business owners who have scaled their business, because I'm at that point where I feel that I'm ready to start doing that and adding team members to Freedom Window Cleaning instead of doing all of it myself. So I was hoping to take some things away for that, which I did, and I've got my notebook with a bunch of notes and ideas that I plucked from other business owners. But really the most important thing to me out of that, where were we there 4 or 5 days, was just the camaraderie. When I was in the Army, one of the things that we had is just that camaraderie, and I have missed that in the corporate world.
Yeah.
And left. I've been doing this for a little over a year now, but officially left corporate America mid-January, and I feel like I want to build that within my organization, within Freedom Window Cleaning, get that camaraderie back. But I really felt it there with all your other window cleaners and pressure washers. It's just a bunch of good guys and gals who like-minded individuals, and man, it was a lot of fun. Like, really, more importantly than the lessons learned business wise was the relationships that blossomed from that. I mean, that's worth every penny,
Yes.
to me. So
You absolutely nailed it. Deeds, you and I have been to a few of these things, and it's I don't know, it's a uniqueness, it's a fellowship, it's a building, it's a thing that you don't
Hey,
even realize that you
do you go
have.
outside and do you go outside and sweat every day and like kick your ass from like 9 to 5 every day just cleaning windows and shit? yeah, you're just as crazy as I am. A lot of guys they sit in an office or whatever people do for work, whatever they do with their jobbies. But we've got an interesting perspective where we're always outside, cleaning something or moving something and getting wet. So it's fun to stay active. But that being said, we don't have time to hang out with the guys, the boys, and whatever. We don't have coworkers. I mean, you do it. You're trying to scale. You're going to grow a business and have people to talk to. But for the solo guys, if we're talking to ourselves, we're crazy. So it is good to have camaraderie and these networking and stuff like that at the Huge or the IWC are very positive. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of fellowship and camaraderie and brotherhood, we've got a bunch of people that hopped on. Craig is in the house, Damien, Mike Matthews, our pal Squeegee Tom,
Tom,
Zero is in the building. So one of
1-0.
our good friends and partners. We want to say thanks for everybody for popping on. So
Speaking of popping on, I love that hat, by the way. That's pretty,
yeah, Sean
that's a
Hart
fat hat.
special, baby. Little
Yeah.
Zero in the building. Charles Smith is in the building too. What up, Chuck D?
Chuck D.
So yeah, we've got a bunch of people hanging out, and that's the one thing that I'm finding that the more and more that I attend these events, the farther our reach as friends, business
Morning,
owners,
John.
fellowship, the building continues far beyond those 3 days that we spend in whatever city it is that we're at. So I'm really glad that you made it out there. We had communicated briefly online in the rooms, pro window cleaning and whatnot, but being able to spend time with somebody face to face is a whole different ball game. So I'm super stoked that you made it and that you are continuing what you're doing because it's awesome. And one of the things too that, we, while we were out there visiting and talking is, we're learning more about other people and what some of the things that make them tick and what helps them, go and grow. And you had told me a little bit about the Barracks Project. It's a project that you're working on right now, and you're trying to get some stuff. You have the ball in motion. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about it, and you and Felicia can kind of let us know what you're doing.
Sure. I'll give you my little piece, and then yeah, I definitely want Felicia to take the reins from there and really kind of tell it to you like she did to me.
We don't need to sell. Just tell us what you're doing, man. I mean,
No,
it was so when you told me about it, Chris, like
yeah,
it was genuine. It's still just me and you
that's it.
talking.
Yeah.
So just
So
tell us, tell me again what it is that you're doing.
So, I've wanted to for so long do something and find a way to be able to give back to my community, to veterans, whatever. And so it was 4th of July when I was spray painting stars on my yard, turned on my permanent LED lights to red, white, and blue, put a big flag out like I always do. I've always got a flag out. And then I was just thinking, and I was like, you know what? I've installed these flags on, everywhere I've ever lived. This is not rocket science, but this is something, like there's not a whole lot of flags out in my neighborhood, and where I live in Northern Kentucky is very patriotic. But I don't see a lot of flags. So I put it out there as like a feeler. Hey, we're going to install flags. The proceeds are going to go to charity. Who's interested? And the response was pretty overwhelming. So anyway, long story short, I had interviewed with a couple different charity organizations that support veterans to try to lock one in to make this work. And a couple of them, I mean, there's tons of great organizations out there. But when I got connected with Felicia through a buddy of mine, Jonathan Zimmer, who also lives in my neighborhood and is a veteran, she just kind of blew my mind, and like she has the same vision that I have with this. Like we can really do a lot of good for people. And the cool thing is we're going to be installing a bunch of flags on people's homes. The proceeds are going to go to support veterans, and we're going to be able to drive around the neighborhood and see a lot more flags in the community. So I think it's a win-win-win all the way around, and it's going to feel great to give back. So I'll just tell you our goal. I've got five buddies who I feel like I should shout them out really quick. So I'll shout
Please
them
do.
out. Lee Searcy, he's a veteran, also a realtor. Jonathan Zimmer, he owns Bounce Bounce Baby LLC, also a
Bounce, bounce,
veteran.
baby.
Yeah, that's inflatables for rent,
Yeah.
for parties, whatever, which
Oh,
is
my
really cool.
baby dribbling. That's terrible. I'm against baby dribbling, by the way. You can't do that
Right.
with a child.
Right. My buddy Lee Patzel, who is the owner of Goofy Graphics. So, he can design t-shirts, hats, stickers, all swag for your business. Ryan Harvey, who is also a realtor. Lee, by the way, is also a veteran. So, and then I've got Billy McNeely, who is a buddy of mine who owns Exulting Exterior Pressure Washing here in Northern Kentucky, and great guy. I've learned a lot from him. We've worked together on some projects. So these
Awesome.
guys are going to go out there and help me do installs. Our goal is to install 100 flags on September 10th and raise at least $5,000. So I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but you've got to
Yeah.
have a goal for something like this. And
Of course.
this originally started as something I was going to just do as like a add-on service, but the proceeds going to charity. But when I saw that there were so many people who were interested in doing it, I was like, well, let's set a goal. Let's shoot for 100 on September 10th, so they'd be ready to rock and flying by September 11th. And I actually just got a notification that 76 more flags will arrive today, finally, at my house. Of course, I'm out of town, so sorry, Susan. Thanks for watching my dog.
Drag him in
And
the
can you
house.
please put those packages in the garage?
Yeah, that's a good
But
neighbor.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be something that we're gonna continue to do for a long time. And it's always the proceeds are always gonna go to supporting local charities, and Barracks Project is something special. So you guys definitely need to hear from Felicia about it. It's pretty amazing what they do.
Hey, real quick, before Felicia takes over, I want to tell you one thing real fast, Chris. Like part of the reason we do this morning show, this gig, this coffee talk is to try to start our days off on the right foot, right? To
Mhm.
keep our passion buckets full, to share with others positivity, dude. And you just made my heart like fucking full. And that is what I'm talking about, filling my passion bucket. And, some people say fill your cup, whatever. I want to say thanks for sharing your stories this morning and with all of our other friends. You know what I mean? This is something that is completely attainable. Your goal is, I think,
It's
a
too
nice
low.
spot on number.
I think
No,
it's
no,
too low.
no,
It's.
because
I mean, the goal is low,
I
but you're going to get above that, is what I think. I
yeah,
think you're
and
going to exceed it
I like
tremendously.
Chris's mentality. Look, you don't ever want to overpromise and underdeliver. You set a reasonable goal and you blow that shit out of the water, and we're about to
Yep.
help you do that, Chris and Felicia.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what
Let's
I'm talking
let's
about.
blow it
That'd
up.
be fantastic. And we
Yeah.
plan on doing a round two. When I was at the Huge, I'll just say, I did share this with other people, because one of the things I took away from the Huge convention is if you have a plan in your head and you're not sharing it with everybody, you're not really keeping yourself accountable to it, right? The more you share your plan,
Sure.
the more you talk about it, the more that you're going to have to execute that plan, because all these people are going to know about it and be expecting it, and you got to make it happen, right? So
Yep.
I was sharing this story with a lot of guys and gals there, and I mean, I have a bunch of business cards of other business owners who want to get involved with this. Even a retired firefighter who started a pressure washing company um, out of Louisville, which is about an hour and a half from me.
Oh,
He's
Nice.
Steve Rock.
yeah, with the mustache,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Remember I was telling you, I was like, you got
yeah,
to go talk to that cat.
yeah, and I did, and he wants to. So we're gonna do like a second round. I'm thinking like Veterans Day weekend, coming up in a what, month and a half, 2 months. But he wants to even drive up from Louisville and help out with installs that day. So who
Cool.
knows where this is gonna go? I mean, so many other window cleaners are like, that's an awesome idea. I want to do that in my area. Like,
Yeah.
why not, man? Like we should take pride in this country, because we all care about it. We live here. If we didn't, we wouldn't,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and you get the opportunity to do good for other people. That's a plus.
So 2 things before I hand this over to you, Felicia. I did tag Steve Rock down in our comment section. So just to keep him, keep his wheels turning in case you haven't reached out to him.
Yeah.
Also, our friend Craig Hensel already said he wants to put in $100 and be one of the first 100 to throw down. So
Awesome. Thank you, Craig.
brother.
yeah. So not only
Thanks,
did
Greg.
Craig hook you, you got hooked up at the Huge with a wonderful prize package that you won, but he's also down to kick down $100 for the cause and get it moving. So I am like, this is the juice, baby. This is what I'm talking about. Let's keep the ball rolling. So Felicia,
Love it.
how do you come into this whole thing?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Listen, you're already quit stressing out about under delivering. This right now, just helping us spread our mission, we
Yeah.
are making a difference. I mean, that alone, if you didn't raise more beyond our very generous $100, that's a huge help. So the Barracks Project, I founded it in 2016. We are ran solely by volunteers. There's not one paid staff member. There never will be. It's in our bylaws. So it is just a group of good-hearted people just like y'all that are just trying to give back to our community instead of complaining about problems or lack of veteran resources. Let's do something about it. So that's how it started, kind of took off from just helping elderly, disabled veterans, taking care of their yard, do things that they are no longer able to do that brings them joy in their life. Pressure washing the houses. I mean, literally, you name it, we were doing whatever grunt work we could to help. And then now transition to our current to date year, we fulfill financial assistance. So we get emergency financial assistance requests, whether it's rent, mortgage, water bill, electric bills, emergency hotel stays, to keep vets from sleeping on the streets. We fulfill those actively. And we were doing those just at least 2 a month. And now our volunteer board, we do this all throughout the week. Every week of the year, we are literally approving, reviewing applications, and helping vets, not just in the Northern Kentucky, Ohio area, literally across the globe. We send care packages out, try to boost morale of our troops that are, whether they're in, over across the sea or whether they're just somewhere else stateside, they're not home. So it doesn't matter, to their family and their loved ones and their pets, whoever that are left back home. It doesn't matter if they're an hour away or 4 days travel away, they're not home. So we want to, step in and take care of them however we can so they can focus on doing their job and we can help them back on the home front. So we have a house here in Northern Kentucky in Covington where local veterans are welcome to stay with us for up to 3 full months, completely free of charge. We don't all they're responsible for is their groceries, whatever they're kind of eating. And we normally set up a meal train, but just to give someone the upper hand. I mean, we all know how it is. Nothing's getting more affordable. So it's like, hey, electric bills due at now a new inflated rate, electric bills due, but you didn't pay last month. So now this month, both bills are due at the same time with now your $65 whatever late fee. And it's like, dude, I didn't have the bill the first time. Now I don't have 2 bills, months worth plus late fees. So it's just very easy for someone to fall behind. And a lot of times, we keep hearing again, like what you guys were just talking about, camaraderie. I mean, you go from being enlisted in the military, being told what to wear, what time to be somewhere, what to eat. And then it's like, boop, be a human again. Good luck, and it's like you have these vets that are coming out of these high skilled, like top-notch careers, but they just aren't translating them into civilian world. So, they're going just looking to earn a good buck back home, jump into something that's not as fulfilling at all. You lost that camaraderie, so I mean, mentally, you're not in a good headspace. Financially, you might not be in a good spot. And, a lot of employers nowadays, it's like, okay, you're hired. Well, you don't get paid that day. Most of the places, your week's training is, it's weeks before you get that paycheck. So, but there's just this huge disconnect. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we absolutely have all these different veteran, companies and great benefits when you're in. However, it's like you're either in or you have to be homeless before there's help for you. So we're like, okay, again, what can we do to help that gap? Because that gap is such an important part of where we're losing people, and not at war. We're losing them right here when they're home. So that's just kind of where we jumped in. So again, being all volunteer, we don't have overhead expenses. We maintain the lights and, all the things on our properties. But to fulfill those financial assistance and things like that, I mean, we just have good boots on the ground people and like-minded business owners that, see the genuine and effective mission that we have, that want to get involved and give back. And truthfully, without you guys even like doing this, if nothing, hopefully someone watching this keeps the Barracks Project website in mind, and you see a homeless veteran or you hear of a vet that's struggling, you can give them our info and we can help them. And then, wow, you have already helped us and helped someone else just by sharing our mission. So any money that is raised is definitely going to help us. And, you know, I was telling him, I'm like, you may not feel like any amount of money is ever enough to donate, but it is. When you're able to tell a vet wherever they are in the world, hey, I know you've been stressing out that you're up for eviction, but we're going to we're going to catch you up and pay
We
you
got
up to
you.
date. We got you. Focus
Yeah.
on your day
Right.
job, like your house, it's covered. It truly does change the world for people, one person at a time.
So we got Devin, our pal that we all met in Nashville. He's got $100 too. Our pal Charles Smith, Chuck D, $100
Boom.
from Kansas.
Chuck D.
So we got the ball rolling. Let's just say that.
Thank you so much.
It is amazing to think and to understand and to know the fellowship that we have in our community. And that's something that Mark and I are super proud of and super happy to be taking a part of. You know, we've shared some of our stories on our show, on our little podcast, about camaraderie, brotherhood, fellowship. And a lot of the guys too have dealt with some kind of addiction or mental health issue. And a lot of these things fall into the same category, right? And a lot of times, guys will come out of the service and they'll get involved in some other things as well. And you know, a lot of the symptoms and or stressors and or triggers or things that you've talked about tend to have guys lean towards, you know, other things that they shouldn't, you know, or don't want to be leaning towards,
100%.
whether it be alcohol, drugs, depression, stressors, mental anxiety, things like that. So knowing that there's another group out there that helps with that is absolutely amazing. Do me a solid. Tell me what I'm going to plug in the email or your website address. What is it?
Thank you. It's going to be our name, the Barracks Project.org.
The THE?
Yes.
Okay.
BARRACKS project.org. Yeah, that's a big thing that we get. I mean, and someone in that headspace, you know, when someone tells them, oh, sorry, we can't help you, but there's local homeless shelters. It's like, dude, this is why you have vets sleeping in cars or under bridges, because they'd rather go do that than pridefully go walk through a homeless shelter in the community and stay there while they get their stuff together. And then, like you said, couch surfing, it leads up to no good, especially someone that's battling their own inner demons. So we're, like I said, just here to help however we can.
Yeah, and as someone who has battled a bunch of, you know, whatever, I've slept on the streets too, and like, I'm not a vet, but I've been through the ringer, and a lot of us have. And one of the cool things too that I'm finding is a lot of people in our industry as well are living a new life. They found a purpose. They are no longer turning to alcohol. They are no longer turning to drugs. And for some of us to continue to grow as men and women who no longer indulge in some of those things, and to watch us succeed and watch others succeed, and then also push more of that positivity and love into the universe, it's about the biggest fucking flex you can get. So
absolutely.
Chris, I want to see that flex, Chris. Let me see it. Come on. There you go. One time. There you go.
Flex it up.
Because what you're doing is amazing, man. and it is definitely needed. Oh, Thomas just corrected me. I spelled Barracks incorrect, so I'll pop that back in the thing.
Thank you.
So we got more people joining in. John Magnos, our friend, has popped on. Grace is in the building. We love Grace. She's going to be a guest on Monday. So
they requested more info. They might want to do a flag thing up there.
Who, Craig?
Yeah, Craig, one of the comments, get with Grace. She wants to maybe start something up in Ohio.
That would be amazing. There you go.
Yeah, Craig's up in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felicia and Chris, you know Craig and Grace, so that's a good connect that you guys can link up together, and that would be outstanding. So what are your guys' plans if let's say that this thing just kicks off and all of a sudden blows up, right? So you have 5 guys helping you now. What happens if you get 200 flags? Are you going to have enough people to help?
Yeah, I mean, if we get 200 flags, I mean, realistically, that probably won't happen on September 10th.
Hey, now.
Because
I like that.
It took a while. I mean, a lot of these companies that sell flags, that I have found. I mean, I was in contact with like 6 or 7 different ones before I finally got one that had, I had to get like 76 from one, 22 from another, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of them don't just have like hundreds of flags ready to ship like you would think, because a lot of them are small family-owned businesses, and
Yeah.
it was important to me to find distributors that are selling, made in America flags, right? If we're
Very
gonna
cool.
do this,
Clap,
we're
clap.
gonna do it right, right?
I didn't
Like
want to
every
ask,
little,
but that is
I
awesome. That is
know, I
fantastic.
didn't either. I had the same
Don't
yeah,
say,
yeah. Well, I'm
don't
question.
say,
not.
that is
Look,
even
you
better.
will not see Freedom Window Cleaning, a veteran-owned company, hanging a flag that was made in China. You're just not
Very
gonna. It's
nice.
not gonna happen. Okay.
And
Love to hear
that's something we can all
um,
get behind.
yeah. So, but I mean, I hope that's the case, right? I hope it's like, holy moly, we have too many to install and we have to do it over several days. I've got a few days over the coming weeks that are blocked off where I can go out there and, do 20 a day myself, it doesn't matter. So, we're gonna make that work. So whatever happens, we're just gonna roll with it, and it's gonna be great. I set up a Venmo account the other day so I can keep this separate from my business funds, right? So I'll be sharing that after this call. Share the Venmo account in case you want to, and
Nice.
anybody wants to contribute to it early. I've got a ton of people that I need to reach out to over the next couple days, confirm address, phone number, and really start compiling that list for the people who want these installed. So, and I'll just put it out on here so people watching this know, like, my goal was to have these around 100 to $150 for the flagpole, hardware install, everything. So, basically from each one, there's going to be like $40 to $50 worth of profit, right? Or labor that is going to be going to the Barracks Project for everyone. So if we did 100, that'd be $4,000 to $5,000 in profit that is going to the Barracks Project.
Cool.
So, and then, it's going to be awesome, right? Who knows where this thing's going to go, but it's a, I don't always have these awesome ideas, but I feel like this is a freaking awesome one,
Can
It,
you see
it
the
really is.
smile that's creeping on my face
I
Yeah.
right here?
Yeah.
Like,
know.
so
It's going to be
what it
cool.
is it's kind of like
Yeah.
an infectious thing. So when you have a good idea and when you share with others and you get that right support, it becomes almost like infectious and it becomes second nature and you're sharing and spreading positivity and joy. And I know, Chris, that this is one of those projects. When done right, you're going to crush it. I know it. Excuse me. My brother's a veteran and, he too has been through the ringer and different things. But I can't wait to even share this whole story with him. He's gonna absolutely adore it. And yeah, dude, it's just an outstanding message and a great way to um show some patriotism. I shared with you, Chris, I took Felicia, just so you know, earlier this summer I took a road trip from New York down the coast, and then over like through Nashville, over to Oklahoma, Arkansas, up to Kansas, and over to Colorado. And it was all for like done through window cleaning and through our fun community, right? And I had never traveled the country. I was a desert dweller, or I am a desert dweller. I've been in Arizona all my life, and I had never seen the country that way, right? And as I'm coming from our friend Sean Hart's house up in New Jersey, cruising through like all these small cities in New York and New Jersey and Virginia, and I saw exactly what Chris is talking about. Flags on every freaking light post through certain cities, and flags on every wooden pole. And it made my heart like full. It made me happy. It made me look around and be like, this city gets it. This city gets it, and it was an amazing thing. And that was just like off the highways and stuff. You know what I mean? Going through the small towns, not even going into the inner communities. So I can't imagine what it's going to look like when you get to one neighborhood and every single house is just decked out with flags. So I think it's an amazing idea, and Goo and Deeds, we're both here to support.
Heck
And
yeah.
as you can see, a bunch of people in our industry are going to help out, and we're just glad that you shared the idea with us. And I just man, if there's anything else that we can do to help, we're here for you.
Thank you guys so much. From our standpoint, let me jump in. Definitely, like I said, if nothing, I mean, you can support the Barracks Project and you can support your local veteran organizations without ever opening your wallet. I mean, truthfully, save information. So that way you can do a little elevator pitch to somebody of local resources when they need it. But I wish you all nothing but continued success. You get what you put out in this world. And I think that's not by coincidence that the three of you all are operating on the level that you're operating on. So keep it up.
Thank
And
you.
you have support here in Northern Kentucky for sure.
Well, that's a very kind thing of you to say too. And I'd like to bring something up too. A lot of people are talking or they're planning on growing or expanding. And Chris mentioned something about scaling. And, if you're looking for employees, somebody smarter than me once said too, if you're looking for an employee, look to the vets. They've already been trained to do something kind of monotonous over and over and over and over again. Hey guys, what do we do when we clean windows? The same fucking thing over and over and over again. So if you hire a vet, you're helping out the community, you're helping out somebody, and you also know that you're going to get somebody for the most part.
Reliable.
Yeah, for the most part, that is going to be reliable and that you can train. They might not have the skills that day, but properly trained, these guys and gals know what they're doing, and they may be a superior resource for all small business owners, especially if you're looking to grow.
And using Streak Free Academy, you can get that employee trained in 1 day to clean windows.
Yeah,
For
Jeff Likes,
Likes.
our buddy has
Yeah.
an academy that can get people, and there's other guys out there too with videos too, and Squeegee U's got modules, and seriously, just give a guy or gal a shot. You know what I mean? And
Hire a vet.
that's
good
all
idea.
sometimes they need.
Yep.
Yep, Felicia and I will talk more about that in the future because that's another thing that they do. So yeah, I plan on hiring, all, if not the majority of my team. I don't want to say employees because I hate that word, right?
Yeah.
But the majority of my team, I plan to be veterans. So plus they'll understand my twisted sense of humor, and we don't have HR at Freedom
Yeah.
Window Cleaning,
Hold
so
on, let me talk to
Love
HR.
to hear it.
we got to be able to tell each other like it is, and not be all upset and go home
Get
depressed. So,
reported.
Yeah.
yeah, we got a lot of good to come, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. I really appreciate you guys helping get this out there because it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
When you
And this will
told
be
me,
your first year, so next year will be even better. This is just
Right.
cementing and implementing, and next year you can roll with it, and it'll be 10 times,
Yep.
what we do this year. That's awesome.
yeah, when you told Deeds and I about this, we were basically in the early stages of also kind of having guests, and also this is the first time we've had more than one guest on, so I'm
And it
glad.
worked.
I'm glad that it's working out well, and that we're all able to share some screen time, and everybody's being able to get their message out. It means a lot to us that you're taking the time to share, and you're doing it here. It's pretty rad. It makes me feel like we're doing something better for our community, for our industry, and that really is kind of what it's all about. That's really why we started doing this whole thing. So that part right there just makes me feel amazing. And we just do this to have fun and whatever, but when there's a purpose behind it, it makes it all even better. So I want to say thank
So
you for
we're
that.
gonna support the Barracks Project. We'll get the link out, and we'll try to get some resources to help get the awareness. Maybe get other window cleaners in other regions, markets to kind of carry the torch with you from you guys.
Oh, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. Keep spreading your light. You're doing far more than just a little podcast. Don't ever undersell yourselves. You're doing good work, and I don't even
Thank
think
you.
you realize it.
Well, that
Appreciate
means,
it.
that means a ton to both of us. I'm not going to get emotional on this one, but I know that it's I do know that this is a good thing. And when good people are behind good things, great things happen. And I want you both to remember that as well.
Great stuff for you guys. Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to wrap up here shortly. But I want to give everybody a couple minutes to, if you would like to give some people some shout outs, if there's anybody in your life that you want to say thank you to, you know, that's important, whatever. I don't really care if it's your dog. In my opinion, sometimes the dogs are even better than better than people. So, Chris, is there anybody you want to tell thank you to? Anybody you want to let know that you love them? Any websites? Anything that you want to say? You know, whatever.
Yeah, you know, I had mentioned the gentlemen who are gonna, you know, help me out, you know, in executing this plan. So definitely thank you guys for all your help. I know there's other people who have reached out that want to help as well. So just don't be afraid to call me or message me. You can look me up, Freedom Window Cleaning LLC on Facebook. You can go to freedomwindowcleaning.net, contact me that way, or my cell phone is 832-681-6489. But really the most, you know, people I got to thank the most is, I mean, it's really my family. I mean, shoot, my wife has
My wife.
been
My
through
wife.
everything with me over the past 19 years, you know, couple
Mhm.
deployments to Iraq. She stood by me, ups and downs. She stood by me when you know, I don't really put this out there very often, but you know, I quit drinking almost 3 years ago, and
Thank you,
she stood
Chris.
by me during the heaviest of those times when I, you know, was really not on track where I needed to be. She stood by me while I was stressed out in corporate America for years and years and years, and
Big
uh,
hugs.
wanted to escape. And she's been by my side. She's my rock. And then, you know, my family. And last but not least, I've got to say, you know, Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, I'm
Praise him.
super grateful for every opportunity that I've had, every crazy path that I've taken, good or bad. It's all led
Part
me
of his
and my
plan.
family to where I'm supposed to be. So I have no complaints. I have no regrets, no regrets. I
No
Life is
regrets.
good,
Not a
and
single letter.
you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, as well, and Felicia. So thanks for doing this. It's gonna be awesome. Nothing but great things to say about all of this. So
Right on,
life is
man.
good. Life is good.
Felicia, you're up.
I
Who you
love
want
to
to
hear
give a
it.
shout out to?
That's a tough one to follow. No, gosh. No. For starters, all three of you, thank you so much. I truly mean that. Thank you, just even helping
Yeah.
get our message out there. The obvious answer, thank you to everybody who has served, who is enlisting to serve, you know, everybody who is currently serving. I live in a land of the free, and that's not by coincidence. I'm a female able to jump on and speak whatever I want this morning at my own
Hell
free
yeah.
will. And that's again because someone fought for my freedom to do that. So thank you
Yep.
to everybody. Thank you to our entire, not just Northern Kentucky, Cincy family that's allowed the Barracks Project to go from just service projects to literally sheltering our veterans however we can. Our mission, I mean, I would have just been a little old local volunteer group and not be able to affect the lives that we have if it weren't for other good-hearted and like-minded people that want to give back to their community and truly make a difference instead of harping on problems. We're doers. You know, I always joke that those who can do more volunteer. So truthfully, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Somehow you three have all fit time into your day today to do good in our world. So thank you for that. And I'm just excited. Thank you to everybody who's made our mission possible and to continue putting out good light instead of darkness in today's world. So thank you. Thank
Be
you.
the light, baby. Be the light.
Absolutely.
Caroline. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for your mission. Chris, thanks for using your business to spotlight, you know, our veterans and do some good work there and spread patriotism in your area. Felicia, thank you for your countless hours to give back to your community and to help veterans. As you know, obviously they need every resource they can. My brother, Adam, was in Afghanistan. He was blown up, shook up. And when he came home, he was close to being homeless, with lots of issues. But luckily, my mother, our family is very loving, so we took him in. But thank you for all your selfless stuff. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you, Jason, for doing the podcast every morning, putting up with this. WCR0, thank you guys. The usual guys on here, thank you. Make it a great weekend. Do some good work. Thank you for filling our bucket today, guys. It was nice to hear some positive stories. We'll do what we can to help raise your sales up and exceed your goals.
Hell to the yeah, deeds. Buddy, this has been an amazing episode, an amazing conversation. You've got all of my like heart, my emotions, everything going to, we pretty much everybody has a family member that served. I have my nephew is actually currently in boot camp in Oklahoma right now at Fort
Awesome.
Sill. It's my brother's kid. He's, my brother is the one who served as well. So this mission, this goal, this idea, it is outstanding, and there's nothing better that I could think of than just being a small cog or a small part in this machine. And we want to help do anything and support you guys in any way we can. Mark mentioned some of the people that have supported us along the way. Zero in the building. WCR Window Cleaning Resources has been the one-stop shop for me for the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. And they have supported Mark and I in all sorts of different ways. So we want to say thanks to Chris and Alex over there. Some of our friends in the industry, Mike Matthews, Mike Nichols, Tom, Squeegee Tom, John Magdos, my partner, my road dog, Billy Sloan, always crushing for me whenever I, need something. Damien has been one of the guys in the industry that I can lean on for everything.
Damien. No, sorry. Chappelle
Yes,
Show.
but
Damon.
Damien, yes.
Yeah. Dylan.
Always there. And you know what? There's just so many people in this industry. And if I didn't say your name and we're buddies, I'm sorry. But there's so many people to thank. We're super fortunate to be able to have a platform to share positivity on a 3-time-a-week basis. So
3. Jesus.
it is pretty awesome. We want to make sure that we're putting out good content, and thank you for sharing your guys' stories. I do want to give a heads up for next week. We are going to celebrate some more women in our industry, and I can't wait to speak with them. Yeah, man. Grace is going to be first up. She's on deck. She's in the batters, getting ready to step in the batter's box for Monday morning. We're going to talk some tools with Grace. We're going to talk some huge convention. Chris, I'm sorry that we didn't talk more about the huge this time, but I really, really, really wanted to dive into this and let everybody know why we were really doing this. So I'm glad that you guys were here. I hope everybody else has a great week. And I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up, in a nice little 45-minute nutshell. That worked out almost perfectly, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Yep,
Hey,
absolutely.
real quick, make
Yeah.
sure you send me your nephew's shipping info when he does get stationed somewhere so we can send him some care packages.
Awesome.
You got it. He's going into I think the National Guard. So he's doing
Okay.
first he just graduated high school. He goes and does 18 weeks or whatever, and then he goes to school, and then I don't know. But I do know that he's where he's supposed to be, and God's got a plan for him, and God's got a plan for all of us. And kind of like what you said, Felicia, is he brought all of us together. And Chris, you mentioned it too. Like, it doesn't matter which path we get to, he's already got a plan for us, and he's working it in its time. And right now it's your guys' time to shine and help your community and help raise that awareness and help bring that positivity. And thanks for letting us share it. So I hope
Thank you guys.
everybody has a great day. Rock on, and I can't wait to see how this thing goes for you guys and for the community.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Guys.
Take care. I hope that all that everybody's passion buckets are full. And Deeds, what do you want to tell them?
Thanks for shopping at Walmart. No, sorry.
No, change your
guys.
rubbers.
Change your rubbers. Get those things changed.
Change
Thanks.
your rubbers. Keep
Change
that
the
passion bucket full, gang. We'll see you next week on Monday, 8:30 Eastern with our pal Grace.